Okay. So in exam point of view, if you are asked to write about what is a box plot and how do you implement in R programming, most of your questions would be like this. So what is this and how do you implement in R programming? So first you need to give an introduction about what is a box plot. So that you will be saying that it shows how the data is distributed across and how it can be constructed. You will be dividing your data set into three quartiles. All these general write-ups you will be giving. Immediately after giving the write-up, you should be giving the syntax. This is more important. If syntax is not there, then you will not get marks at all. If introduction is not there, maybe some marks will be reduced. But if syntax is not there, then there is no point in answering the question at all. Because our subject is mainly R programming. Are you getting it? So you will be showing the syntax. And in syntax also, if you see the attributes, what do you mean by attributes? So box plot is the function. You are using that library function and you are giving some inputs to the function. What are the inputs you can give? That is what you call it as the attribute. Okay. When you check in our editor, see, look at this. This is your R editor. So here in help, if I'm going there and if I'm giving box plot, okay, then you see that you have lot of attributes. Look at it, you have lots and lots of attributes. But it's not necessary that you should explain all the attributes. You can give a minimal attribute. So here we have given a minimum attribute. The most important attribute of the box plot is nothing but the x. What is x? The data which you want to plot. So x is the vector. Why we call it as a vector? So we want to see the data distribution. So you're not plotting one data, you're plotting some number of data and you want to see that how it is distributed. Okay, and we are giving x is a vector or the formula, and also data. Data when you are giving, it's a data frame format it should be. And notch is nothing but a logical value. We have to set it as a true if you want to draw a notch. Okay, so this is about the graph, and variable width is a logical value. So whichever attribute we call it as a logical value, we should feed them as either true or false. You cannot give any number value. Okay, and then you have names. Names are nothing but group of labels which will be printed under each block box plot. So you want to give names to them? Yes, you can give. And the title of the graph you can give using name. So here they have given a very simple example. So first, when you're answering, you should give definition, then you should give the syntax, and how do you do it practically by giving an example. Here, we are taking empty cars as an example. I hope you may be remembering this data set, empty cars. Okay, so in empty cars, what we are going to do is, it is a data set. Okay, any data set will be having some number of variables, or I can say some number of columns, right? So here we want to take two columns and do the box plot. What are the two columns? MPG and CYL. Okay, last class, which data set we were using? We were using the grades data set. In grades, you had so many columns. You may be remembering final column, quiz column, final 60, grade column, right? So all these columns can be plotted individually, right? So the same way, just like your final 60, just like your quiz, here we have the columns MPG, CYL, etc. So here, first we are just taking the input, we are fetching from empty cars the columns MPG and CYL. Okay, how the data looks like? See, this is how the data looks like. So this is your data set. You have two columns MPG and CYL, and these columns are marked with the row labels. Okay, now we are going to do the box plotting. See, this is the box plotting we want to do. Okay, so how are they giving it? So this is your data. So I always told you that program means it should have three components. What are they? Input, process, and output, right? So input is ready. Then now we are going to do the process and output. Here we are not doing any arithmetic operation. We are just plotting. So how are we plotting? So give the chart title a name. So I want to give a name like phi is equal to box plot.png if I want to store it as an image. Then this is my important code. For this code only I am telling you get the full marks. Okay. And you see there are some lines are with red color comments, right? So this is what it describes the statement of the R program. So what is this PNG files equal to boxplot.png? Someone who does not know R programming, they can read the comment which is given in red color. So it is given give the chart a file name, right? So the next one also plot the chart. So this is what you call it as a comment, or some people will call it as the internal documentation, or for understanding you are adding some description to each and every line. So this is all up to you. Okay. So here now look at it. We are drawing a box plot for the two variables MPG and CYL. I want to plot these two variables. In our previous class, how did we plot? We plotted only one variable. Am I right? So now here we want to compare. We want to see the distribution of two variables MPG and CYL. What is this operator? Can you see this operator? Where is it in the keyboard? Can you check in your system? In your keyboard, where is it located? Are you able to identify? Look at your numeric keypad. You have not keypad. Look at the numeric row. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That row is there, right? Look at it. The leftmost key. Can you see this operator? A wave kind of operator, which is called as a tilde operator. Okay. So we will be using tilde operator, mentioning always in our programming, we will be using this like a versus. This versus this. So here we have given MPG versus CYL, comma. Then from where this data has to be fetched? Where is this data available? The data is available in empty cars. So it is also given, take this data from empty cars. Okay. And then X label. This is the X label I want. This is the Y label I want. And this is the label I want to give. Okay. And then we have given the dev.onf. So what happens is this command will execute. After execution, you will see this kind of plot. Where you will see this plot? In your R programming, in the right hand side, you see this graph. And this graph will be automatically saved. Where it is saved? It is saved as boxplot.png. Okay. So once you have executed, this will be automatically saved. This much will be expected for a question. And I don't want, even in the examination, you plot one variable also is fine. Not at all a problem. Are you getting it? You plot one variable like in last class how we have done. Because there are a lot of variations. You can plot one variable. You can plot one variable versus another variable. You can save. Yesterday's class we have not saved, right? You remember we have not saved. And today in this class we are showing the code to save the file. So ultimately this is your main code, and add on to the code you have so many other things. What are the other things you have? You are incorporating how to plot two variables. You are also showing how to save two, save the plot. And you also see they are showing the box plot with the kind of notch. Okay, some kind of variation they want to do. So, they are taking the parameters like the number of cylinders. In the data, they have three variables like high, medium, low. So they want to plot each and everything individually with respect to mileage data. So this and all, I will say that we will not get a clear idea until and unless you start your own application. When you are given with one data set and when you are asked to do something, that moment you will understand the significance of using notch, of using two variable, of using single variable. Are you getting it? So beginner level, I expect everyone to learn this much. From where you should learn? At least from here to here. This much is expected from your side. Okay, this much is needed in the examination. Not only box plot, for all the graphs. Suppose in the examination they are asking, what is the matrix? How do you create matrix in R program? explain matrix operations in our program. So from there you have to start. You should say what is a matrix, one small description, and you should say how do you convert a vector into matrix, or how can you create a matrix on your own? How do you access the matrix? So how do you access in the sense? How do you access the rows and column? How do you perform matrix addition? How do you perform matrix multiplication? It all depends on the mark also. If it is a 7-mark question, so where you have to stop. If it is a 14-mark question, then you should explain everything. Are you getting it? Are we on the track? Okay, so I have identified my data set is available in the data frame G, which has 105 observation and 22 variable. Okay, so I have given a simple command to create a box plot by giving box plot of G dollar final. So I can just alter this by giving, maybe I can add main is equal to my box plot. Okay, yes, one variation is done. The next variation, can we keep a color? Color is equal to red. Okay, so first is plot, then I added label, then I added color. Now let us try with two variables how that could be done. I can say final, I can use the tilde operator, then I can say G dollar. We can have total. Can we have total? Total. Okay. So total is a discrete value. So I'm getting this way. Okay. Both are my discrete value. I can say something like yes. Now look at it. So with respect to the grade, we have taken the final value and we have done the box plot. And we can see what does this indicates. Do you remember when we were doing, when we initially started with box plot, we looked at this round circles which are completely away, and we used to call them as, nuances. What is this? You remember seeing this dot and the circle?
Outlier.
Very good, very good. Okay, I'm very happy that you remembered that it is the outlier. So outlier can be sometimes erroneous data or the data which seeks immediate attention, correct? Which is not in the normal range of data. So I have added like this. Try off with all variations. Try giving the labels as well. You take 1 minute to complete this. So as I told you that the data visualization is a big area where we can understand the data by its, visual, when you visualize the data, since you have the large amount of data, so the abstract information about the data itself can help you very much. Okay, so that is what actually we are going to start with. So yeah. So this we have done in the last class, like how do we, retrieve the data set. Any doubt in this? Are you able to retrieve the data set from, using the import data set option? Have you tried? We have tried yesterday. If any doubts are there, you can ask me. Okay, I'll just quickly move on. So the first thing, we will be fetching the data set in two ways. One is through the code by using read.csv command. The next option is you can use the menu option. In menu, you have import data set. So this is what we have used yesterday. When you are fetching the data through this menu, the advantage what you have is you will be able to change the data type. So here in this example, the moment when you give import, what happens is you get a window like this. you will be selecting the file, and after you select the file, see, this is the old version. So in the new version, we have seen how do we set the data type, and when you give import, you will be getting your data set, which is available here, right? So this we have executed in the last class, and we were able to fetch the data. Okay, so now we will be using a different data set called as CS2M. Okay, so I think I can send you this file. Give me a second. So we have, you could see that the data set CS2M file. Suppose you want to assign it to a different variable. I want to give it a variable um, CS2M. Then any variable, if I want to skip, I can give it. Okay, any variable I want to create like a column, class label. Yes. Okay. Yes. So now my data table is being fetched. You can see that showing 1 to 11 of 30 entries, totally 6 columns. Can you see this, all of you? Yeah. So we can see that we have totally 30 entries and we have totally 6 columns. Okay. Now let's see what and all we want to practice. See, we have imported the data set and we visualize the data set. So now what I want to do is I want to issue a command summary. Okay, we are in the descriptive statistics lecture. So we want to learn how do we create descriptive statistics. So just by issuing a command summary of and then variable name. So shall we try that? So I'm going to try here. You can listen to me today. Okay, so I'm going to give summary of what is my data set name? CS2M, and I'm hitting enter. So the moment when I hit enter, what happens? I have totally 6 variables. For all the 6 variables, the summary is being created. Can you see that? So the variable BP, cholesterol, age, pregnant, anxiety, and red. So here also you see BP, cholesterol, age, pregnant, anxiety, and red. Now look at it, what and all is there for each and every variable. So you could see that the minimum value in the respective column or in the respective variable. You can also see maximum value, median value, mean value, and also the first quartile and third quartile. Can you see that? So this is what you call it as a summary data or a descriptive data about the individual variable. Am I right? Okay, we are able to generate. So now here what happened is I just gave only the data frame name. The moment when I gave data frame, all the columns are summarized. Okay, so here the advantage is all the columns are having now numerical data. Okay, we have one data in hand, that is grades. Suppose if I give it for grade, what will be the answer? So you can try giving this way. You just give summary of G. G is your data frame, right? So that you have created for your grades data set. And totally we have 105 observation of 22 variables. Now look at it, all the 22 variables, the summary is being created, even though it is a alphanumerical data. Now let me have a look on this particular data, like see quiz. Quiz minimum value is 3 and maximum value is 10 and median is 8 and mean is 7.9. Can you see that? Similarly, final. Minimum everybody has got 40. Maximum people have got 75 and mean median also is being listed. Grade. Grade we have totally 5 grade, right? Now look at this, the grade variable and the pass rate. These two columns, what we had is, we don't have a numerical data, but we had factors. Yesterday we discussed about factors, right? What do you mean by factors? Factors are something like a labels. Okay, so your entire data set can fall into any one of the categories. So we have totally 5 grades, A, B, C, D, F. There is no E here, okay, but we have F. So if I'm asking the R Studio to create the summary for grade, what we have got is For the value for the grade A, how many people have got A? How many have got B? How many have got C, D, F? So we have got that way. Similarly, we have a variable pass fail. So in pass fail, totally we have three values P, O, F. So how many have got P? How many have got F? How many have got O? So this is the result. Have you all tried? Have you all have got the result this way? Are you able to interpret this? What is it? This data set you have, right? Grades. Grades data set. See, this is grades data set. Okay. You could try with grades data set. You could try with grades data set. 1 minute now. Try this way. This is our see summary of G is my variable. I don't know what is the name you have given to your data frame. See, just give a command summary and just give the data frame name inside. Just give the data frame inside. See what is the output you have got. We'll move on. Okay. Now we are going to use one package. I request you all to get your system ready with this package. Okay. Make sure that this package is ready so that we can implement few of the code. If you have any problem in installing this package, then let me know. Okay. The package which one we are going to install is the site package. How do you install package? Two ways you can install the package. One is by giving the command install.packages and then library of the package name. The other option is you don't need to write the code at all. You can go to the editor and you can pick up the option install package and you can just type the package name and then hit enter. You should make sure that your system is connected to internet. The packages will be downloaded from the web portal that is cran.rstudio.com. So the library files are available in the web. So you should make sure that the system is connected to web. If it is connected to web, then the packages are downloaded and it would be automatically installed in your R. Okay. So what is the advantage of having this package? What is the advantage? I'm going to have a special function called as describe. Okay, what is describe? Previously, we had a function called as summary. When I want summary, what and all was displayed? Minimum, maximum, mean, median, then first quartile and third quartile. And what is the advantage of having describe? You have, the same way you have min. Somebody's talking, huh? Okay, so apart from minimum, maximum, and then mean, median, you have, you can also see that apart from that, you have standard deviation, and then you have bars is nothing but, the variable number, and you see that total number of samples, then mean, standard deviation, median, then trimmed, and then you have range, skew, then kurtosis, and then SE value. All these things are there. Okay, because summary is not giving all the values, but the perfect descriptive statistics is given with the help of the function called describe. Describe is descriptive statistics. Okay, to print the descriptive statistic value, I can call the function describe. So let me also check in my system whether I have this particular package. Okay, I'll go to my RStudio. Then I'll go to packages and here I can just check. Okay, this package is not available. So I can just go to packages and I can just type the package package name like this, and I can give install. Okay, I'm getting some warning message, but then I could see my package is getting installed. Okay, so this red color says that the editor is busy installing something. You don't need to disturb the editor. Okay, so today I request you all to get this package ready to execute more descriptive statistics command and to explore more visualization tools. Okay, so I'll stop here. The classroom will be open for another 5 minutes. If you have any doubts, you can stay back or you can leave. I repeat again, please install this package and get it ready by next class. Tomorrow, I may ask any one of you to share the screen.